Holy smoly, that is not what I expected. And I'm just like, this is how you make one assembler. It's clean, it's nice, it's beautiful. Space, space, wanna go to space. I'm gonna meet the sun. What'll it say? Hi, sun? Oh boy. Welcome back, Automation Nation. We are here in the space age trying to wrap up our time here on Novus before we head to the stars, and we're just about there. I know I've been trying to allude to it for a few episodes now, and frankly, we could have gone along quite a while ago, but we wanted to really make sure that what we were leaving behind on Novus was relatively self-sufficient, that it has the ability to keep expanding on power and resources and so on and so forth. Of course, the biters are still going to be an ever-present threat, especially in the north. We're going to probably have to make our way up there, but yeah, we have a few little errands to do, and then we're going to be getting into some automation to make the rocket ships happen, which is going to be very exciting. So first thing, one thing that I've been shying away from quite a bit so far, just based off of the complexity and the fact that it can break a lot of builds, is the idea of enhancing the quality of my machinery. But realistically, there's a lot of items that I could benefit from getting some more quality out of, and we're going to try that. Oh, okay, this is eating a lot of resources to kind of dig into here to kind of supply this. I should have cut this chest off a while ago, but no harm done. Yeah, what I learned is that looking at some of the Factoriopedias or whatever here, where you look at the different ingredients, is that you can even like enhance your science packs. That can be really good as far as a material that goes into the labs, and they're not picky. They'll pick whatever blue science is on the line. Doesn't matter if it's common, uncommon, whatever. So definitely, I think a good idea to go ahead and small attacks coming from the north, no big deal. We can probably expand on that a little bit, just drop off a few laser turrets just in case things get a little uglier. So we'll go ahead and bring in a few of those, but generally speaking, no big deal. Yeah, but you see, like, the labs, the science facts are kind of a no-brainer in my mind, that we want to either give them productivity modules or quality modules or something along those lines. So we're going to go ahead and go with the quality modules for now. We'll see what that entails later on. And then, yeah, of course, we can do that for all the different ones, even the reds and the greens from way back when. Any real endpoint ingredient doesn't have to necessarily be a part, a cog in the machine. So it doesn't necessarily have a problem with being upgraded. The magazines, for example, are one option as well. Reds and greens right here. Snake, it would have bit me, but yeah, we might as well just kind of give a nice little upgrade boost to those. Our assembler 2 as well. We want to kind of make sure that maximum crafting speed. We're not getting our Okay, did I actually just miss? Yeah, I just messed up the positioning here with one of the inserters, but that's fine. Yeah, so this is going to be, giving me some uncommons, which will have the 975 crafting speed instead of 75, and even the rare ones might occasionally pop out, which will just be, all around an improvement. I really do wish we had a better idea of what we're doing with the coal here. Realistically, we could even put quality coal, and it would give us more fuel. This would also affect plastic, which in and of itself isn't a bad thing, as long as we have a way of getting rid of the plastic, So that's something to keep in mind, but the boilers are going to use whatever fuel they can get, and higher fuel value is value for us. So I could see us wanting to do that as well. So yeah, I'm going to like I said, I'm going to try to avoid the quality concerns a little bit. Oh, these take 3 each. Very nice. That's 3% increase, and then that will later on allow us to make like advanced circuits from plastic that are better, and that will maybe means that we can get like laser turret upgrade, which is amazing. It'll actually increase its range up to 36, which is massive. So I'm very much into that. We just have to set up a inserter here that will be inserting the correct thing. We could either blacklist the whites and the before it goes too far down the line. We'll go ahead and do this, but yeah, we want to whitelist the green, blue, and later on we'll have to worry about those. But oh, perfect. Yeah, there's a greater than or equal to symbol, so we'll just say greater than white plastic. So that should work. won't affect the coal at all. And yeah, we'll do that. So it'll put it in the box if it is applicable. We'll take that one out just to keep it consistent. And now, yeah, as long as it's quick enough, it'll catch these and throw them in there, which is great, because then we can utilize that in the future. And then I guess if we're worried about the chest getting full, then, because technically all of that is like a very finite setup where once it's full, then it's going to be bottlenecking things. But we can make it last for quite a while, and I think it'll be worthwhile. And then, yeah, I guess we could even have a setup where if we're bringing in upgraded coal, should be coming in from the line from the north, right? Yeah, good. Then we can, bring this over, give it more petroleum, but what we're actually building is not plastic bar, it's green plastic bar and blue plastic bar for the blue coal. And that'll just give us a more consistent way of utilizing extra value from the machines. I guess just to make sure it doesn't get past it, we'll do the bulk inserter, but yeah, we'll go ahead and throw it back out after the fact, and that's all you really need to do as far as I can tell. There's a possibility to clog up somewhere else, but we'll work through that when we have to. So we're right now clogged up on petroleum. That's okay. What I'm thinking we can do is just not use our light oil for the moment, because I have some other plans for that. Go ahead and give me my stuff, guys. It's fine. Let's see what we got here. So, yeah, if I just make a quick run to coal, I don't think I have any vehicles nearby, but if I just make a quick little sprint up here, I guess I can make sure that we're planning out our factory for today, where we're going to be automating. It's going to be in this area for the most part, so it should already be covered. But yeah, I figure we can expand on this area a little bit. And I guess we do need to make sure that we have some concrete left over here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the top branch here. This will work fine still. We can keep that. But yeah, basically make it so that we have we need at least 1,000 left over for our build today. So we're going to go ahead and avoid that. But yeah, in the meantime, we'll keep expanding our refined as we can. And it's not very much that's coming through here. I guess it's just a space limitation thing. That's okay. It'll keep on dropping it off whenever it has it available. Yeah, and as I was saying, we can go ahead and probably increase our throughput on our machines here. Just go ahead and throw these out there. And then, of course, make sure they have power. Which ideally would be 3 away, so it's like 1, 2, 3. Still covers both of them perfectly. All right, and that way we can put stuff on the other side. Right now, I guess, there's no harm in it. We have plenty left over from our automation builds. And then, like I was saying, I plan on just go ahead and quality these up. You'll just get more value out of what it produces, which can be great. I guess just check the line, make sure it's not going to anything else that you really are worried about. It should just be going to burners and plastic, as far as I understand it. So, and then over here to, yeah, these guys. Yeah, I'm down with it. I think that'll work really nicely. Just a small little boost there. And then, what else was I seeing in terms of resources? Right now we have copper flowing constantly, but we're going to be using a lot of copper for the low density frames. I think these low density structures, 20 copper plates per, and we use a lot of them. I do want to expand on our copper production a little bit. I'm trying to think of, we have a lot of nodes available. We have the 2 million, we have the 8 million, we even have this 1.7 if we need to jump into it. So I think the easiest solution for right now, we have this whole cliff kind of protecting us, is to get into this. And as long as we're in range with our construction bots, which we are, I can do this all remotely. So you just clear it out with the deconstruction planner for trees and rocks. You go ahead and bring in the minefield blueprint, which will automatically cover the areas that you want it to. Anything that has applicable mining will work here. So looks like we'll kind of want to start over here-ish. Up or down? I guess we can bring it in near the other piece. So, oh, I just messed it up a little bit, but that's fine. Yeah, I think we can kind of bring it in over here to the north. And this should help right here. Okay. I added conveyor belts to this blueprint. I probably should add power to it too. So that we, yeah, let's do that real quick. Can I centralize that a bit more then? So that I can actually use it as a good blueprint piece. So yeah, if I just bring it in here, add in a perfect grid of these machines, and you can actually, I think, bring them, yeah, this far back. That's great. And now we can just blueprint that instead. That'll be a nice adjustment to make sure we always have power. And it's, yeah, relative spacing. So yeah, we'll keep that up. We'll do it again. A bit to the north. Right here, wherever applicable. Not the dead, dry, hairy tree. Those are endangered. All right, and then, of course, we'll have a little bit of nonsense here we'll take care of, but... No! Take care of that. All right. All right, I'm down with it. I think that is a nice option for us here. To collect all this copper, and then instead of bringing it all the way up, we'll have it actually kind of going to the east here. So what we can do is then set up, all done remotely thanks to the bots, a nice little loading station. We look at the chunks to make sure it's lined up properly. It should be lined up with the top of this one, I believe, but it does stick out a little bit at the bottom there in a way I don't like very much. So maybe I'm wrong. No, it should be the bottom of... Okay, this one's just not on the... This one's not mapped out the way I've mapped out the others, and that's fine. We could still hit the horizontal button and make it with rail signal cannot be flipped. I see. Okay. Well, this looks correct, so if I just carefully nudge it over and then flip, we could call it right there. And it'll be fine. Yeah, so the grid not helping here, but that's not the end of the world. We're going to have plenty of stuff available. The one thing we have to keep in mind, though, is we do not have the train stops, rail signals, or chain signals automated right now, so we'll have to satisfy those ourselves. So we can go ahead and set that up, and then bring it all in here. And probably, as I make my way a little closer, go ahead and then also work on the belting side of it. Yeah, once we get all three, that's when it'll definitely be able to handle two. So what you can do here is... It's just 3 lines, right? There's a little bit on the right side there, but not that big a deal. We can just do it like this, and then that should make it so that these 2 lines are very even in what they're sending out. I'm surprised this tree doesn't die. Oh, there we go. Take care of it. And here we go. And I think that'll work out quite well for us. No, power is important as well, of course. So we'll make sure that's all connected here. One or the other, it looks like. We'll just do that. And then very important is going to be laser turrets. I've got plenty in backpack, but what we need to recognize is that we're expanding our pollution by making these big machines. We want to make a better defense of it. So we'll go ahead and we have repairs and replacements set up in the network, but I don't think we have it set up properly to just defend it against swarms. So I'm pretty happy with that. All these are marked for the robots flying in to take care of them. So you'll see that plenty of them coming in right now. Of course, it's important to name the train station. I don't know that we have, because our only other copper node is off the rails, so to speak. I don't think we have a copper mining, so we'll do that right now. And then we'll need a copper smelting, which to an extent, this is copper smelting, and we're not using about half of it. So what we could do to avoid having like have to do a full dedicated setup right now is just have an unloading station right here and just make sure that this guy is going 24/7. That should give us plenty for what we need and supplement what we're going to be lacking over here. So I can go blueprint unloading station, try to chunk line this one better right here. Should be good. If it's not colliding with random things, no, it looks okay. And then, yeah. Do we need two? Yeah, there's two inputs, so why not? We'll go ahead and it would kind of force us to go over the terrain nicely. And then, yeah, I guess it should be right here. And I'm trying to think if there should be like a prioritized input between this one or that one, but I don't think it really matters in the end. They're both going to want to get used, so. I think that all works. And that's the two inputs, major inputs for an ore. All these will be running 24/7. It'll be great. And that'll give us a lot more plates to work with here. Cool. Alrighty. So they're going to be hard at work. How much? We only have 250 left on the concrete, so I'm not going to mess with it too much more. But I'm liking it. And then we just need to name that train station once we put it down, which I don't think we have the materials to do so. We'll have to head on over there ourselves. Is this in any danger? I feel like we could... Oh, this is only gun turrets. Jeez, yeah, we want a little bit more action over here, too. All right, because we are spreading pollution out, as you can see here. It's definitely hitting into these new areas. We're going to see more and more activity up top here. I'm trying to see where else it stretches. It does hit here, which I'm curious how these guys will react, if they'll just like run up and start swarming over this area or what. We'll have to keep an eye on it a little bit more as we continue to scan. One thing we have not scanned out is uranium at all. So we cannot make any nuclear power. I think this lake is like perfect for it because you do need to build those on water. But yeah, I'm not seeing it right now with no uranium and no replacement iron after this one dies out too. This one we searched for a while, and I don't remember what we started with for that, but it is important that we keep that running and find something to replace it with pretty soon. I guess I can just drop a car and, you know, throw in some casual space, rocket fuel into it. The luxury. No, you know, let's just pick it up when we're done. Surprised it doesn't actually just one-shot the pipe, but, you know, wasn't going full speed, I guess. All right, so yeah, all this stuff is kicking. I did not... Oh, I did set this up, but I need to actually give it a train stop. Hopefully I don't die from crossing the tracks. Yeah, give it all these little signals and stuff where it may be needed. And, you know, we always have the option of just like making a few of these and then just throwing them in a bucket somewhere like this. Just being like, bam, that'll go out to wherever it needs to go. And you'd see like, actually needed a few of these already. Oops, doing the opposite of what I wanted there. Here come the bots for it. All right, apparently we were waiting on those somewhere. Need some real signals as well. So yeah, we'll definitely set up an automation for this. It's really easy, but it's not our focus for now. We really just want to try to get to space. We've held off long enough. We're hungry for the new content. Of course, the new content and quality has been really cool and mind warping in a few ways, but it's nice. Yeah, so you see the little coal sometimes being blue, sometimes being green, and it'll kind of make its way through here. But whenever it's a particular kind, it'll be right here. Cool. All right, we'll keep this car over on this side because, frankly, our garage is a little bit off-center. It's all of our stuff is left over here. We're going to need to grab that tank in a bit, but overall, happy with how things are looking right now. So improving our copper is going to be pretty easy now that we have this set up. We just need to name this, not con, but copper smelting. And then we have no trains on it. So what we need to do is either place a new train, or you're seeing like there's a lot of these guys that are kind of just like stacking up here. And there's not really any that significant value in having like a third train waiting to go to iron. So I would say that we can probably repurpose this guy and give him a new train group. So we can go ahead and switch him to manual here. He'll chill out. Change his train group to copper, and then we will take out his train stops. Or can I just modify it so that I can keep the other settings? I'm not sure. Let's see here. Seems like I can't. So we'll just clear it all out. And it's got the refuel, and now it's going to get copper mining and copper smelting. We're going to be waiting until our cargo is full, and then we're going to be waiting until our cargo is empty, and we'll set it to automatic, and that really should be it. I could even change color thanks to the destination train stop color, so I think that should cover it. And if it gets stalled out at some point, then we'll check in on it, but that'll help deliver extra value to this over here. Another thing that I figured I'd do in the meantime is I can kind of start handcrafting some production science to get one or two new technologies. Specifically, like the only 75 purple science, production science for the effect transmission for the beacons kind of seems like a steal. There's some that cost like 1,500 and 1,000. We're not getting that obviously, but you know, just a 75 seems like a really easy handcraft. I usually avoid obviously handcrafting because you want to be automating this stuff long term, but I also, like I've said multiple times, I'm trying just to focus really hard on space for this one. So we'll see if that happens. Oh, I want to improve the quality of the laser turrets, as I mentioned. Is there any others? Electric engine unit. That sounds pretty good to me. Inserter, bulk inserter. You can't really rely on it consistently, so I'm not thinking I want that. But again, these are all end products. So even like these guys here, they don't need to go into anything. So I figure they might as well get that quality improvement, and maybe there will be some situations where I want the extra wire range. Alrighty. I'm trying to think anything else. What are bots improvements? I'm almost curious. So like, obviously we have logistic bots right now, and you can improve their energy, their flying reach, which is part of that. And yeah, of course, even their survivability can help the construction bots in combat situations. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm good with this so far. What we're going to be building today, now that I believe we are on the right track with a few other things, and as the rails fly into my inventory from the logistic bots, we can always make a few more of these. But maybe I do just want to make a productivity module manufacturer just from, you know, some excess that we have available here. We'll go ahead and say, we'll make a splitter, and we'll say output priority is left. If you need to go somewhere, please go somewhere. But if not, come on over and we'll make use of you. So we'll do that. Make a little machine that is making productivity modules. Do we want to improve productivity modules? That would give us even more. Why not? So let's go ahead and put those right in there. We'll put this, make a red chest in case we use the blueprint thingy to make that happen. And what would this be, like inventory or something? Storage size up to 120. That's kind of cool. Overkill in a lot of cases, but still pretty cool. Speaking of overkill, yeah, we probably don't want to max this thing out, huh? Even though it does feed into, I believe, the Mark II. Oh, and I didn't put quality into these. So we'll take care of that. Yeah, I think that'll about cover it. Like I said, you could do this for ammo if it's going to this and not to the black science, but I don't want to worry about it too much. What happened here? We're not getting petroleum because we're full, because we're not using our light oil anymore. Is that it? Yeah, we're not cracking light oil, which makes sense because we are going to be trying to can do a few things. The first I can show you, as I pull it up on the screen, rocket parts. Everything on the left there, you're going to see is part of the rocket silo. And then everything below is going to be components for the rocket parts. So one of the rocket parts is going to be made from our rocket fuel. And as far as where we can make it a bit more at scale, I think further to the south. Because if we look at our factory plan, we've got rocket parts here. And that's where our rocket fuel is going to be coming into play. We do need 3.3 assemblers for the rocket fuel, so 4. And then 2 assemblers for the solid fuel. So 2 and 4. It's okay over here, but I want to see a little bit more. So we can go ahead and leave the chest for now. That's fine. But if we can go ahead and clean this out, remove these. Not sure about those, but yeah, let's go ahead and start running this underground. And we're going to be building over in this area here. Okay, and probably just here is fine. As far as ingredients for the solid fuel, I think it's very simple, actually. It's light oil goes... Oops, I do not want to forget that picture, so we'll take that off. But yeah, solid fuel from light oil is just solid fuel output, no input other than liquid. And then the rocket fuel, you know, it looks like a metal canister. I guess it's made of flammable clay, because what we actually have is just solid fuel going in and light oil going in. So nice and easy here. Let's go ahead and spread the light oil out a bit. Not where I'm standing, obviously. And the first thing I believe is chemical plant for the solid fuel. And we'll get some power going to all this stuff. Hopefully we have space. But yeah, we're taking this right off the line, bring it over here, and then we'll put it into here. Where it should be... Oh, it's not chemical plants, it's assembling machines. A little weird, but is this really the same size? It almost doesn't seem like it's a 3x3 because it does just take up so much more space visually, but same grid. And we're going to be seeing these rocket fuel pieces take in the product, and I think a 4th one is necessary, as we saw. We're going to go ahead, I guess, clean it up with this, and boom. From there, we'll need another one here. It all comes to that, and then we can just red belt it out, or red inserter it out to a new line right here. And that should help with some of our light oil overflow. Of course, like I said, we could set up a new box, because we did have one right here that only has like 40 in it. So we'll go ahead and, like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and set up a output priority left. And if it gets past that, because it has nowhere to go, then might as well box it up. Cool. And then that left one will go, I guess, through here to be part of this train, bus, airplane, whatever you want to call it. It's not a traditional bus, I'll give you that, but should be helpful. We'll leave it right there for right now as we figure out exactly how all these pieces fit together. Another thing that I'm going to be bringing in, so if we go ahead and look at the factory plan briefly, is... So I'm going to be making a few things. I'm making rocket silo, which launches the rocket, cargo landing pad and cargo bay, which are new space things. Space platform starter pack, I guess, is what starts our little orbital platform that goes around Novus. And the foundation itself, I've added some extra ones because I believe that's what will allow us to expand that platform. I think it's kind of like the 1 block or C block mod where it's very limited space and you have to utilize this or something similar to build off of that. Already did all that stuff. And then, yeah, the rocket parts. I think just to keep the build simple, since honestly a lot of them use the same parts, like the blue processing units, we can actually just combine this together and say, okay, is it a space thing? It's not. It's a rocket part is an intermediary. And yeah, if I just do 10 per minute on that and account for it, rocket fuel will be made and solid fuel will be made, but concrete's provided, light oil provided, sulfuric acid will be provided since we have excess. And yeah, I was actually thinking that we could make the electrical engine units and make sure that's, moving smoothly. But I noticed on the line, we actually are doing fine on that. We have all this, this full line of this stuff chilling here, and we could just move it along. So I'm thinking if we could not do that last build there, that ruined everything. But if we could probably bring it down over here, that would help things out quite a bit, right? So if we do this here, and then somewhere abouts, we can bring in this item. That'll help as well, because that's going into the rocket silo, which, I mean, in theory, I don't even think you need to put a rocket silo in an assembling machine. Yeah, you can just, it doesn't say that it requires a machine to craft it necessarily, but it also requires like 2,000, 2,500 ingredients. And that's a lot to just keep in your pockets. So we'll go ahead and route this over real quick. It doesn't take too long at all. Bam, and we're basically already there. We'll, again, decide where it goes when we need to. Same with this. But yeah, we already have the pieces. And that's the electric engine units. So already we don't have to worry about that side of things. We don't have to worry about these pieces here. And if we go ahead and just shrink this down, here's a lot of the things. Double check the belts, pathways here, nothing over 0.5 except for copper cable on greens. So copper cable going into greens is going to be pretty high volume, and we're going to need both sides of a cable line, or maybe you can have it where they're like picking it up off of the line as it goes along. But yeah, otherwise, we have plenty of work to do. I would say, first things first, we will probably want to get into blue processing units, just to make it and move our way towards the sulfuric acid. Are we low on sulfuric? Is that a problem? Go ahead and close this out for a second here. I thought sulfuric acid was surplused out, and it seems like that might not be the case. We're making it here. They just don't have maybe... Oh, no sulfur. No sulfur because no petroleum. No petroleum because light oil needs a reconnect right here. So despite the fact that this is running the full speed, it does not seem to be doing much with regard to our light oil consumption. We just have so much more light oil that we need this connected back up. So we'll go ahead and put this pipe back down. And as soon as that gets filled in, then sulfuric acid should be back online. A little small mishap there, but it'll be okay. But yeah, so then we'll have the sulfuric acid. We'll have to route it to the north a bit. And at some point, it will need to meet the blue. Oops. Whatever we're making for our blue processing units, the chips. We need to presumably put that here and bring it on up. And let's say it may be around here. We'll have to see. As far as what ingredients we need for our chip line, we're going to need green, red, and blue, which means we need iron, plastic, copper, and that's in the sulfuric acid, and that's it. So not too bad for these three right here. The only other place we need copper cable, not copper plates is going to be necessary for low densities, but copper cable is also necessary for these space platform foundations. So I guess we could also route steel down this way and have plastic, iron, steel, and copper making what we need. And that way we have all the copper in one place and We have, is this rounding to 10? Oh no, this is 5.8. So this is actually exactly 10. That's so weird. Exactly 10 assembling machines of copper cable being made. 1800, probably 1800 is the amount instead of 1803. But it turns out that the exact amount of copper cable for 10 machines can feed 5.8 greens, 5.8 reds, and 0.7 space platform, which just happens to be the amount of demand that I placed with this order of 0.15 per minute. That's a very specific timing, but it all works out. Anywho, yeah, that's going to be a nice opportunity. I guess we're still going to be doing the 3-for-2 ratio for the green circuits, and we're only going to have like one, oh, well, let's see, for 2. Yeah, so 9 of these are going to be tied into the greens. We'll have one overflow for red, and then that overflow can also give to space platforms. That's basically what it comes down to. But just to keep it simple, I actually think I don't want to route steel. Instead, I'll just do a little thing right here. Sorry for the wishy-washiness, but we need a game plan. It's always nice to kind of plan your resources and your flow out just a little bit so that you can avoid too much spaghetti action. So we'll have our raw ingredients bus here. We'll have copper. Copper plates are flowing into the system. We'll need to either peel it off of here, or just run it before it ever even gets touched by anything else. We can just run it right here, which is kind of nice. So I'm into that. We'll go ahead and have that one line up here and say copper. Now we have our setup here. So copper coming in, steel, iron, plastic is also something that we're going to be needing. Just standard plastic. Looks like last it was used, it went up this way, which is fine, but we probably want a splitter that actually... The heck is this abomination? I think there was supposed to be something up here, but where's it going to? Just to make sure. So right now it's fine, but I do believe in the future that this line will fall apart because at some point I deleted a belt. So we'll go ahead and restore that. But I do want to pull that plastic off. I'm trying to think of the best window to do that. It might be actually around here. So either there or here. Let's just do here. That's actually not bad. Okay, it wasn't bad. And then we had a single thing get in the way. Okay, we do this, we do this. Okay, that actually is weird because this guy has to turn or just be deleted. And then we can put it into here. Otherwise, you're going to have random copper cables sinking in on that. And that just gets ugly. Okay, so we got the 4 main ingredients as far as I can tell. Steel, iron, copper, and plastic. That's going to give us everything we need for the space platform foundation. Now, these don't build very fast, right? 3 items per minute. Yeah, very slow. So what you can do is actually just right here. I'm going to get out of the habit of like building anywhere near this bus. I'm trying to make sure that like we actually respect the ingredients of the bus and try to pull them off the line properly. So what we want to do is just have each of these items go to the south, but still have the bus continuing over time. So we'll start with plastic because it's nice and easy. And then we can make the underground belt so it's not obstructing anything, allowing us to then do iron, peel that south as well. Then we've got the setup here. And we like that. I guess if you really want to get fancy with it, you can do this as well. Doesn't make too much of a difference. And just systematically, you're seeing just splitter, underground, splitter, underground, splitter, underground, yeah, as needed, to then make a replacement belt going south without actually messing with the lines too much, which is cool. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and do the piece that will allow us to get rid of steel, which will be this space platform foundation, which requires one copper cable inserter right here. Bam, bam, bam. And I guess if we just pull this, rotate this, and then do this, we can actually just have a setup right here and right here. Well, then it's not going to work, is it? We did like a long-handed inserter, and that's too slow. So we'll just do the route around like this, and that works out better for us. Okay, and then this will be our space platform thing. And for right now, we have no place for it to go, or we don't really know exactly where our rocket stuff's going to be, so we might as well just put it in a box for now, and that way we can kind of get started on it. Do we want to improve it with a module? Is it taking up a lot of steel, for example? A decent amount, 60 per minute, adds up for sure. So I could go ahead and say we want the productivity modules, which we were trying to make over there. Speaking of, we're also trying to make some of these. It takes a bit of our rails, no big deal. Little awkward. Am I going to have to make like logistic trash for all these different things? Oh, also these can't make... of course. I'm like, oh yeah, nothing else uses coal except for the things that do. If you want to be sure of that, you can always check the Factoriopedia and say, okay, well this is used in these ingredients here. So it actually messes with our explosives and our grenades. And that's a little unfortunate. And I don't want upgraded grenades because we're using these for black science. So for right now, I can do a quick fix of just having a chest with certain whitelist features of greater than common quality coal and throw that in there. But where the heck is the power on this thing? Oh, it's built into that, huh? Sure. But I do feel like we need a better game plan, which probably means a splitter. As it's coming down, we do not want it to go to the south side at all. We still want regular coal to flow there because we're not that consistent about it. So what I'm going to say is... Okay, here's the plan. We do this. We say on the right will be above common quality coal. And that will go up here and be filtered in, with this being the input priority, so that it never gets too full. Whereas this stuff will have the coal flowing, either type of coal flowing to the other two. Cool. Alrighty. Moving on. Easy to get distracted with that stuff, but yeah, we gotta watch out for it. Explosives also, I guess, got complicated just now, and we're minor attack up here. Oh, they are attacking the copper. Okay, so they might be even expanding into this area. We'll definitely need to make a move with the tank pretty soon. All right. So the explosives then. We're kind of full up on those anyways, and the cannon shells are going pretty slowly and smoothly anyways. In theory, we could create a setup where we're consuming higher quality cannons and higher quality no, just don't. It's all fine. We got what we needed out of the cannon shells. We're gonna chill. And to the point that I might just want to be capping this off, actually. This is fine. This is fine. We're great. We're wonderful. Thank you so much. Moving on. We finished off space platforms. We did one of our 10 copper cables, but unless we're also routing that copper cable south, we're actually going to be building another 10th, because essentially this one is doing enough for the red and the black space platform stuff. So moving on, we're just focused on copper which we'll need to continue on. Oh, this is the sulfuric acid. We're not ready for that yet. Can continue to push down here. But we'll need a nice little setup here for the iron, for the copper. I think here we can go horizontal with it. Probably sooner rather than better, so we could avoid running into these substations. So let's go ahead and right here, pull it across, and do 9 different inserters. And these will be the copper cables. And they'll be feeding into 6. Of these green electronic circuit makers, which will just connect with any of these nicely and result in something good. Now the trick is we're going to be pulling iron from below. We only need half a belt of iron. So iron going into anything else directly. Just this one pipe manufacturer. So what we can do is do the half belt of iron and the whole belt of greens. Or we can try to direct feed into the reds. Green circuit's going anywhere else? No, just to the reds. Oh, into the blues directly as well. Never mind. So yeah, we'll have to belt the greens. And it is less than half a belt. So let's go ahead and do this. Right here. The iron is an input, but the green chip is an output. And now we'll have a nice little line of that. We've now made our green chips. We'll need one more copper cable maker to help us out. We could... It needs to get to the red easily. I could just use a red inserter and make things simple. So yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah, so this is actually just going to be going out on a line here. And going back down to what we have here. We have to use one on the right side to catch these last pieces. Looks like we actually have to do 2 over here. No, because a huge percentage of them is actually just going into blues, right? So we don't need to worry about catching even a third of these. We can just put red wherever it's convenient, which could be right here. Ish. Okay, then we actually need plastic and copper cable in the same line, most likely, if we're going to be leaving the greens as is. Okay, the green... We do need it to be to the right of the greens. My bad. But... 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 here as well. And then we need to make a line that's over here. I'm almost curious if there's a way to do it with this machine. But I feel like it gets a little ugly under those circumstances. We'll clear that for now. Imagine if we were just a little bit closer. How much do we need per second for the red copper cable? 174 items per minute is more than a red inserter can handle. It can handle like just over 1 item, but it has does it have the increased hand size holding hand inserter? What is this tech? It is inserter capacity bonus, only affects bulk inserters, so we cannot rely on that. Unfortunately, the red inserter, I was thinking of doing some shenanigans where I could actually place it directly on the belt from here. But since we don't have that, the next best thing would be to go here, 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 and And then nothing else needs plastic, just before, make sure before we corrupt it. And yeah, we can go ahead and now have a plastic copper cable line. And should be good. So we do end up with the 10 copper cable inserters anyways. These go to the south here. Right about here. And these can be our reds. With inputs here. And then red outputs to the south. Cool. Excess greens now would need to come down, which we can do pretty easily. So this can go. And then, yeah, greens on the right output priority on down. Oh, I always do this where like I do like the filter, but I don't hit the check mark. Because it used to be, I think you could just click, and now you have to confirm because of the quality thing. Because there's a two-step process. Minor inconvenience, but it's all good. We'll just clear all this out. And considering the positioning, we actually could just do it like this. And suddenly you've got a green-red belt, which is exactly what you want to see for your blue processing units. So blue processing units, going to be using that sulfuric acid, which hopefully, I'm covering up my tooltips, but I'm hoping is now flush. Yes, it is. And with this removed, you're going to be seeing it right around here. Perfect. As far as how many blue inserter makers we need, we are going to be making 5 as a roundup, and those can be right around here. Technically, we can just do it like this, right? And that should work fine. Alrighty. So then we want to make sure we're getting the last little bit here, so. Yeah, that all makes sense. And then these can just do it right here. Beautiful. Gotta love that we don't have to worry about electric poles when we're just already have the substation set up, the concrete set up. We're just like, this is the place. So we got all this sorted. We just need to add fluid right here. Which I guess if you look at it, you could probably want it like one down because you're gonna need some space, right? So if we do this, there's 2 ways to do it, right? We can either red belts over, which I think is probably just the better, simpler way. Then we can have the fluid go directly and not use all these underground pipes, which actually takes a lot more pipage in terms of material. Connect that all in, and now you've got your belt right here for the blues. Do we want it to go to the north or west or the east side? Looks like we're pretty clogged on the west, so let's go east. And bam, you got your blue chips going out. Let's say right here. Believe that'll do, as long as we point the copper down. Beautiful. And honestly, it almost makes me want to blueprint this setup because it's, you know, not perfect, but it's a pretty darn good blue chip setup just that I can just drop down whenever I need them. So for right now, at least, I'm going to go ahead and try that out, and if I want to go a different direction with it later, then cool. For now, we're going to go ahead and say 5x blue, or I think it's like 4.8 blue, but let's just say 5x blue chip and call that a blueprint. I'm down with it. You know, sulfuric acid has come in, copper, iron. It's pretty specific with the plastic and copper, whatever, but yeah, it's a pretty specific input, but once you get the inputs down, it'll work. It'll fly. So we're happy with that. We're done with copper cables. We're done with those pieces, the blue chips, the green chips, the red chips, the platform foundation, and now we're getting into these. The only really like one that we need a lot of is going to be the low density structures. Everything else is kind of a one-off. And technically speaking, you don't even need a production line for these, but I wanted to make it so we could make this in less than like 15 minutes. And then, of course, a lot of these materials will still be reused for rocket parts and such. So yeah, we'll need a pipeline, and that'll go into this guy here. And for that reason, I guess we'll use him first, so we can just be done with iron entirely. I'm making sure this is all linked up properly. Is this for a different thing? This is for the concrete. Okay. Oh, it goes all the way over here just to create iron sticks. Okay, I'm sure I probably could have done that better, but whatever. Yeah, we can just go ahead and ignoring the stone here. How much breathing room did we give it? Okay, let's say this. We'll fit, as long as we can fit underneath this. That's probably the play, right? So this will be pipes. Logistic, of course. And the pipes will then go in, be one of the things that go into it. Concrete, another thing that's going to be coming out. Most likely can just route it below this line here and wrap it back around. Concrete goes into these two different ones. Let's say around, well, we definitely don't want it on the pipeline. But we can wrap it around here somewhere. So let's just go ahead and hold that and figure out exactly where we're putting these pieces. Electric engine units are on this line here. Yeah, let's do this. And then blue chips, as we just brought them in. Let's go ahead and just underground belt it right here to this point. I feel like on this terrain, we almost want the second exo because we're just not using our bots nearly as much. So we could do something like this. But yeah, a little bit extra speed. We can always swap it back. So blue chips should probably come in under here. And then steel is the only other piece that we actually need for this particular part of the build. But I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We do want to probably get these low density structures building sooner rather than later. So we could also look at that. Steel, plastic, and copper. That's 3 of the 4 ingredients here. We really just need this guy to move along. And as far as belts go, copper is the only one that we need in large quantities. So I think steel, plastic can be just combined together at a certain point, and everything else can be sorted. But where? Where do we want to build these? I kind of want to have those available to scale up in case we need them to. So I would rather give them their own more dedicated space. Kind of feels like the space we're not actually going to be using that much is up here. So we could do that instead. Okay. So we'll do something around here. Something around here. And then, like I said, copper as well. And it's steel and plastic that we wanted to kind of combine for belt effectiveness. If all this is together, we can easily create a large amount of low density structures. Let's see what we have here. Another thing that comes to mind is those things eat a lot of material from what I remember. So we're going to go ahead and grab some productivity modules where we can. Is this too much? I think it's okay. Well, it'll work for itself. In fact, it'll work for me right now as I try to make a few more purples. Oh, 75 is the amount we needed. So actually we can just go ahead and research that right now, which is perfect. Go ahead and drop the purples off into the laboratory system. Sure, that looks good. And now we have enough to grab ourselves some effect transmission, which is awesome. And very quickly, boosting it up. Boom, boom, boom. Pipes here, concrete's here. These guys are going up and away. I think we might be able to get past this. Nice. Nope, not like that, though. And then these two lines can either separate or we can use reds. What's the craft time on these things? 15 seconds. So red-handed inserters is going to be fine here. And to me, that means that I just want to be building it like this. And yeah, the recipe or the factory planner calls for 4 of these, but I could make a few more in case I need it later. Seems fine to me. Then we want to try to productivity module these where possible. And then we want to set it up where we have red up ×2, blue up ×2, and that will collect all the ingredients for us here to make some things happen. Nothing else that we can really do. We don't have an active source of purple for this stuff. It's going to be nice when we get this, but that's going to take its own setup as a whole. And yeah, we just don't have it automated yet, so we'll hold off for right now. But this is looking good. This will give us our low density structures out on the line. That will be going into this one here, so not too bad. How do we want to do this? I guess we just want to manufacture it right on the spot. This doesn't have to be a permanent setup. It doesn't have to be beautiful, but it does have to be functional. The biggest thing is it's just a lot of material to load in. So we'll go ahead and say rocket silo. You see it's already loading in 2 of the 5 pieces. Here's another one, and the last is steel, I believe, which can be taken from a few places. I'm going to go ahead and say right here is going to be my best option currently, since I kind of did some stuff over here. Oh, well, let's just have them meet right here. That's perfect, actually. And then bring it on in. So blue chips is the last piece. Bring it in, and we just only need to make the one, but it does take a while because, well, we're bringing in thousands of pieces. So, okay, that one doesn't need it, but just for beautification, we'll do this. Alrighty, so that clears our electric engine unit needs, our pipe needs. Those are no longer relevant. This was made as well. So now we just need the concrete to continue on with the blue chips and some steel to then make a cargo landing pad. Or if we're lucky, we can just do this and then bring the steel in on the side and make a cargo landing pad. What's this do anyways? I assume it's necessary. It's part of the space stuff, but yeah, we'll have to see. Lands cargo. So I don't know if that's on the orbital space platform thing or if it's on something else, but in the meantime, we also have this going here, and the steel can be picked up off of this line here. Cool. That covers that. Also need steel, low density structures, and blue chips for the cargo bay. and steel blue chips and the platform foundation will make the space platform starter pack. Imagine we could just handcraft that too if we just have this boxed material here, which does seem to be taking its sweet time. There. A productivity module can only be used on intermediate products. And I guess this counts as a space product? That's weird. I actually didn't know about that restriction at all, but I guess it makes sense. We could definitely speed boost them a bit if we have some speed modules. I think that would help. I'm not sure if it's worth beaconing, but definitely worth something. Either way, though, we then have... yeah, the low-density structures and the blue chips and the steel. Which means that I can do... it doesn't take much. Right now we're manufacturing 11 per minute. We only need one of those per minute, so let's go ahead and just peel off a small amount. And I think this will work. If we then... yeah, so we basically just have it set up here. Boom, boom, and then the steel. And that should cover everything for this cargo bay, which is not the same as a cargo landing pad. Bay probably goes in space, right? You know, with the pod bay doors, that's just a classic. So yeah, cargo landing pad. No, cargo bay's not here. Where did I pull bay from? I was looking at what I wanted to build and I saw bay. Where's cargo bay? So obviously exists. Oh, okay, so once we send a space platform starter pack to space, then we will unlock our cargo bay, at which point this build will matter. Until then, we're chilling. Speaking of, we need that space platform starter pack. We need this, and that'll give us initial items 10 space platform foundation. Why does it cost 60 to make 10? Maybe it's like, I don't know. But we'll get that started. We'll go ahead and kill the speed. Chips. Throw this blueprint in here for some inventory. And then, yeah, we don't need this. Probably don't need that. I don't know why some of this is in here, but it can go. Since this is all considered excess. Do I have grenades? I don't think I slotted for those. Okie dokie. We're here. We're good. We can speed boost this guy with the speed modules. And how are we looking for our rocket silo? We need blue chips. That's our only thing that we're really lacking. Are these guys running full time or are they bottlenecking? Bottlenecking a bit on reds. And reds are bottlenecking on copper. Copper should be fine. It's just this machine right here. I guess if this one is sped up a bit, then it will affect the others. So we have to speed this one up in turn. Not that it's not fast enough, and might even make the inserters work too hard, but we'll see. And these guys are dividing the work anyways, so it's all gonna work. So end result is we're gonna get enough red for what we need, and we're gonna keep the blues rolling. But for the moment, if we need to, we can just go ahead and drop this into there, and boom, we've got our rocket silo. I think that's everything then. Can't even make the other piece. And then, yeah, we just have to route to the rocket ship, which, as we mentioned, is just those 3 pieces that we've already put together. I think the only one that's slightly far off is the... oh, I meant to... I don't know if this helps now to do it after the fact. Oh, it doesn't work on space products anyways. Oh well. Close out the factory planner, and we appreciate it for solving some ratio things that would have been just a little mundane to handle ourselves. It definitely is something relatively easily achieved by pen and paper. If you just look at, you know, the tooltip on the right there, 0.05 output, you compare that to the input, you'll get there, but it's nice to not have to worry about it. Is this where we want? Oh, we want our rocket fuel to go to somewhere helpful. I'm not sure it would even reach here necessarily. It does not. It's just a whole mess over that way. So yeah, let's avoid that entirely by doing this. And then yeah, our rocket ship can be like over here-ish. It's not like we're trying to make an operation that, you know, reloads 3 rockets at a time or something like that. It's just trying to get off the planet. That's the bottom line. All right, is this trying to make another one? Because I don't want that to be the case. Can we avoid that at all, if at all possible? Well, at the very least, we can do this, this, and this. We do not need another silo today. Thank you very much. This guy needs some blues to get him off the ground as well. Oh, he's making it. Okay. Well, then we're good here, too. I'm assuming we don't need more than 1 cargo landing pad. So that means we are ready. We have this thing. Which one is it? Space platform starter pack we can't do anything with. But the rocket silo, ooh, buddy. Looking good. Okay, LDS, as well as the rocket fuel and the blues. All kind of seem to be running up to this location here, so. And we'll give it its own reverence. We'll give it its own space right here. And we definitely want to put productivity modules in that because it costs a lot. Not as much as it did in 1.0, where it was the way to win the game. And of course, they made that very clear by making it cost a massive amount of ingredients. But nevertheless, does cost quite a bit. So I think it's like 1/20th what it was previously. It's kind of crazy, actually. I don't know if I want to dismantle this when it has so much that would go in my pockets, but we can just leave it for right now. We got blue as well. We can just take off the line, kind of toss it into one of these. I guess we already did that one, right? Did we? Yes, we already got that. Just didn't pull it out. That one's not too bad. I'll go ahead and clear that out. And then throw some blues in here when I can. But the last piece is going to be that rocket fuel. That'll come through here. Alrighty, and then everything else is just our bus going past this bit of a mess, which has become extremely productive. We're about ready to say goodbye to Novus and reach the stars. I don't know how it actually works. I'm sure plenty of you have either gotten this far or read the Friday facts to kind of understand the mechanics of the new systems, but I really don't know. I know that each planet has a like orbital space platform. You can name it. That's kind of weird. Planet Novus. Create starter pack. Okay, let's go ahead and just launch the stuff first. So this is the rocket inventory. And then it has a few buttons. Deliver cargo, build new space platform, and travel to space platform. So if we have the materials ready to go, what we can do is start beaconing and filling it in with the speed modules. So there are diminishing returns on beacons now, but it still dramatically increases things. I guess we'll just start with 2 beacons, did that. Kind of, there's no point in having a bunch of one and none of the other, but alrighty. And then, yeah, we're almost at a point where we can rock it off. I'm sure there's a few things I wanted to do before then. I guess while we're waiting on that to go, there was one thing that I wanted to try out, which will have to be handcrafted as well. So I have not been somebody that gets into the logic circuit networks very much at all, but I did want one thing as we're going to multiple planets and going to be basically playing from multiple maps. There is one particular thing that I thought would be pretty valuable to be able to be aware of if it happens off of the map. And that was related to the power levels on planets that you're not on. as these get dipped low, and you'll see, like, for example, as we look over the past hour, our accumulator charge only dipped down to like 90%. But if it is dipping down to like this 20%, 15%, I want to know about that sooner rather than later so that everything doesn't just shut down outright. So I'm thinking that I want to create an alert for something like that. So let me go ahead and drop these beacon items real quick. 1, 2, 3. Fill them in. And all that's in range here. I guess there's no harm in doing it here other than a little bit of electricity. If I can do it here instead, that will actually hit an extra building here. Well, yeah, I think all three of them do. Either way, it's cool. But you can see here on the tooltip, I think it says, yeah, beacons times 3, 57.73 each. So there's diminishing returns where it's not giving 100% value from each of them, but still 165% or so. Oh, I like the beep whenever you click them. That's fun. It's still going to be nice rate increase when your set requirements are met. Our blues still kind of seem to be going a little slowly here. What we could do, I was going to say we could like module them so they're not eating so much, but they shouldn't need it, right? Like the ratio on the that we had set up was, you know, 6 reds running full time in theory. I guess, no, I mean, the 5th one should be getting it from here. I guess it just turns into an overflow thing where they're not getting it at the right time or something. This guy's not getting any copper. Well, those are poor reasons to be inefficient. So what should we do to remedy that fact? I think the ratio-wise it is operating as it should. 5.8 machines, 5.8 machines. These are down a lot more than normally would be. So it probably has something to do with the space platform manufacturer running at 100% speed instead of 70% speed. And even made worse with these speed modules. So let's go ahead and instead of speed modules put, again, okay, productivity is restricted. It doesn't work the same way you'd want it to, which is fine. Then I think in this context, it's a bit better. Really, it's like, what I want to be doing is having an overflow setup where like the filter feeds the space platform everything extra from that the reds aren't using. But I don't think I have the space to really make that right here. So that's going to be okay. In the meantime, we can just give them a little boost, right? Boom. Now they should have a little bit more in reserve for a little while. So I'd be happy about. Alrighty. Now, back to our this. Oh, rocket ship ready. Dang it, I was just talking about something else. Let me go ahead. There's 2 pieces that I really want to get into. We're here an hour and 18 in. If you want to see the rocket part stuff, please jump ahead. Well, I think we're going to have to do multiple rockets. So let's go ahead and do our first rocket, and then we'll wait until the second one is fueled for us to then travel to it and start building up there. So we'll go ahead. Cargo landing pad. No, that's not what we want. What is this thing? Okay. Where does our cargo want to land? Guess right next door is fine. Sure, why not? Maybe we'll have like inserters pulling from it like it's a train station. I don't know. We have space platform starter pack. We'll put this in the inventory and okay, it apparently weighs a ton. So we can't send anything else up. That's okay. This is everything needed to set up a new space platform foundation, just like it says. We're going to give it the command, build a new space platform. And for whatever's orbiting around Novus, we'll call it the orbiter. And it'll be great. And now a starter pack for this platform is on the way. Here we go. Off into space. The game's over. Wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. It's out of here. All right, very cool. Now, while we're waiting for the next rocket to load in and for us to hop into that one, presumably, we can Okay. Space platform reached. Space platform finished. Now we can upgrade to... Well, now we get the other thing that we're going to make, the cargo bay. And now we can make... If we get asteroid collectors, which is one of our new items, collect small asteroids. Large asteroids must be broken up into smaller chunks by turrets. Okay, so we'll need turrets up there too? Like laser turrets maybe? That would be cool. Yeah. So yeah, it has like a range, it has storage, it has a speed that's listed in kilometer per hour instead of degrees, so it's not exactly like the inserter in terms of how you measure it. But yeah, you get the arms, and a lot of people have seen this on the main menu screen when they boot up Space Age. Looks like it only works in no atmospheric pressure, which I would assume is just outer space in general. And yeah, so we have gotten that along with the crusher. Okay, it can break asteroids into chunks, and then a recipe for the different materials that'll go into the space science pack. Very cool. Very cool. Alrighty, since we have the materials now, we'll go ahead and make that cargo bay thing here. And then we'll go ahead and start handcrafting, if possible, the crushers and the... It should be in space, right? Yeah, space. We need low-density structures and processing units. So go ahead and steal some processing units. We made one of these already. We'd rather not make... I guess we're making two. Well, if we do this, it will stop, right? Sure. Alright, so we made that thing. And that will cover a lot of the things that we're thinking about. This is a cargo bay. You can just kind of put it there. Not connected to hub or landing pad. Okay, so I could connect it to this, and it'll just kind of increase the slots. But that seems unnecessary at the moment. And then the other thing, yeah, we can make asteroid collector and a crusher with the engine units. Perfect. Okay, we're using those as well. Crusher. Okay, we have too many of these apparently. And then the low density structures again. Ooh, rocket ready to go. So we've got that, we've got some space platforms. We'll definitely need to bring those with us. And then some turrets as well. We've got 50 turrets. I think that's fine for now, but you never know. Okay, where is our space platform? There it is. So we'll grab as much of that as we can, which is not as much as we'd like, unfortunately, but we can figure that out. I guess if we could do this here, we could move this across to this location and do this exact same setup, but with the copper coming from... Unless I still have to do the copper cable. I still have to cable it. So it's more like this can do this guy's job, and then we have to get directly from this line the copper cable setup. And that'll all work. That'll all contribute to more of this stuff. I'm assuming it works like landfill, and every single pixel is like 1. So we're going to want more than 150 if we're going to be able to kind of really build up there. But yeah, for right now, I can just box this stuff up, and we'll look at the circuit stuff later. But it looks like we're ready to launch and hopefully not get stranded in outer space. Oh, I want to bring solar panels too. I think that'll be helpful. So let's go ahead and get rid of this network stuff for the moment to not let force the people to wait any longer. Go ahead and fill these up with the bloop. Love that sound. And I love that they actually had a diminishing returns of beacons, because I thought the 12 beacon builds were kind of dumb, honestly, in terms of like how they looked and felt. So I like that there's more value in using like a moderate amount of beacons without completely breaking the game. Asteroid collection. A little bit more of that. Crusher. Did we make that yet, or we did not? Still just more low-density structures, seems. Keep making those. Those are good. I swear I thought I made one, but that's okay. And then... what have you. There was like one item that I was going to bring, and now I've lost it. But that's okay. We're going to space. And solar panels. Okay, that is actually important. We'll definitely take some solar panels with us, because I believe the sun is always shining up there. There's no night or day as far as I can imagine, because how would you even show it in the game? So this all looks good to me. I think I'm happy with this as far as what I'm bringing up top. And I really just want to get up there, so oopsie. We'll keep these. We'll get rid of these. Drop a little bit of this off. Don't know why that guy's in here. And I think we're just about ready to go. This guy can use speed modules, right? I imagine so. He's not going to get bottlenecked as hard as the other. So we got that. We got the low density structures. Can we make one more grabby hands? Asteroid collector. Great. And we still don't have that many crushers. Can we make our own low density structures? That kind of feels like it would be a good option. We just need the copper for it. $400. We'll make enough for it. It just takes a little while. Alrighty. Well, I'm happy with where we're at. I think this is pretty good. Let me make one more, like 3 asteroid collectors, 3 crushers. That'll kind of cover everything. I mean, these, what's the power cost anyways? 72 kilowatts. 550. Oh my gosh, these things are expensive. They must be massive. Okay, so that'll be great. Can I see them right now? What the? This is... How does this cost 550 kilowatts of energy? That's ridiculous. I was thinking the Factorio crushers. Those things are massive. This is nothing. Little dinky guy. Oh, I gotta crush this stuff. Okay, well, I guess we need more of those, so... yeah, let's go to space. Okay, so we have our cargo up here. We can go ahead and, I guess, fill the inventory and then jump up. So let's go ahead and put some... Okay, that's the... You can only put 50 in at a time, so it fills up the thing real quick. Let's say that this is what we want to bring. This is already 1 ton. Okay. Ease up on that a little bit. Some solar panels would be good. Some electricity as well. Let's see. Rocket capacity 50. How does this medium electric pole require... I'm not going to get... I'm assuming this is just like a gameplay mechanic to limit what you bring up there all like automatically per rocket, but I mean, we're just going up there anyways, right? Deliver cargo, travel to space platform. Can't travel to space with items in your inventory. Trash slots or ammo slots. Oh, okay. So you have to empty your pockets. It's like the guard at the castle gate saying, no weapons allowed inside. Please just leave it all at home and you'll have to start fresh with whatever you sent up there. Okay, we definitely don't need... Okay, that's interesting. That changes things a bit. 3 substations seems fine. How do we actually make space stuff? The space science is not unlocked yet, but it will be made from... crafted on the space platform with an assembling machine. So we do need assembling machines. And we'll do some of those. This looks good to me. Across the board. I obviously want some more space platform, but we're going to have to do that piece by piece. So time to deliver some cargo. And then we can go ourselves. I don't know if it costs like an extra rocket to do that, but we'll figure it out. Turn off personal logistics so we don't get filled back up. And then we could put all our stuff in here, I guess, but I might be sending too much stuff down that I don't want to fill that up. Let's just go ahead and lay out the chests here. All our stuff in. Okay, so it said rocket's not ready. It said items in your inventory, trash slots, or ammo slots. I've got... It doesn't... The filters don't matter, right? Oh, ammo slots. Okay, so if I do this, and I'll drop that in there. Now I can? I'm handcrafting. Is that going to be bad? Let me finish... Well, yeah. Let's just get this out of here. Now, okay. The cops, space cops have let me through, and it's time to launch into outer space and see what we can do up there. So, only concern is biter attacks. It's actually been kind of quiet recently. Obviously, I did have the laser turret. Okay, so there is activity up there, but you know, it hasn't been too bad. These guys are useless. They, you know, we just built with a blueprint, so naturally there's going to be some guys on the edge that only have like 400 to dig through. But I really kind of wanted to clear the north before I headed out because I don't know how long it'll be before I get back. But YOLO, right? We want to see space. Let's go to space. So we're heading up. It's going to be a good time. Let's go to the orbiter. All right, we're a little dude in space. This is it. It's the big one. See you later, novice. That's what we've been waiting for. Heading out into the great unknown, the great beyond, into the infinity above, beyond the clouds. Love it. It's beautiful. You see on the tooltip, we're kind of still hovering over the map here, but cute little animation like that. And we're here in our tiny, dinky little thing. Cool. Guess we can just like hop out and start. Okay, so add station. It's kind of... Okay, so these are like train stations in a way. At least they're set up in a similar way. Interrupts even? Oh, gotta go hang out with Venus for a little bit. I don't even know. Request for construction. There's so many little differences now. I do like the music, though. That's kind of dope. I'm in this remote view. I'm in this remote view. How do I get out? Do I get out? My guy's like stuck in here. How do you even build? Paused. Unpause. Okay, so we got these items. Space platform foundation. Okay. Is now being removed. We just... Items here will drop to the orbited planet's surface. Used... Okay. Not ideal to start off with that. Oh, that's why it says pause, because it's paused. But there's no thrusters anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okie dokie. Well, we are here with no space platforms. Factorio, this thing have anything to say about it? Orbital logistics. All right, space platform hub can request items for the logistic networks to be delivered by rockets. Can be set to automatically fulfill the request from space platforms. Cargo landing pads can request items from a space pad. Yeah, it's basically like you can automate it so that you can get trains, just like a train network, you can put on or take off what you want. And it's smarter than a train system because you can actually get specific items you request. Transfers. Okay, there's a cargo landing pad. Or pod, okay. That will drop if there's like... If I think it still goes to the bay, but who knows. Inserter, that's kind of cute, but does not help me here. Space science can only be produced on space flight. Yeah, we knew that. That's not unknown. Why can't I get out and do stuff? Space platform is built remotely. Oh. So like... Oh, I feel a little silly. I'm not sure if it's the most intuitive thing for people who've never read the forums, but yeah, we're just kind of chilling here. How do I go home? If this is to be built remotely and I'm like stuck here, I can look at the Novus map, right? Can I tell it to go? Oh, drop to a planet. But oh, that's always here. Okay. Well, it's nice. It's very cool, but it seems like I can't do anything here. It kind of seems like the only reason you'd want to be on the space platform is when you're going to Vulcanus or whatever other planet there is, and I've kind of messed that up a little bit. But either way, very cool music, very cool vibes. I'm just gonna have to go get my space platform materials so I could actually do something. And I guess there's like a robot up here that'll take care of it. So unless I just throw the construction bots up too, which I wouldn't be surprised. But platform houses core space planet. It receives items from planets and dispatches them. Okay, that's all I got. I'm here. I am done. Why is it so foggy in space, actually? That's kind of weird. I know like there's like nebulas and stuff, but it does seem kind of extra dusty for a vacuum. Oh well. Let's head back home to Novice a little sooner than expected, but here we are. And we're off. Really good job on the animations, but I'm sure I'm not the only person that's going to make that mistake. That's all I'm saying. Okay, the cargo landing pad has all the beautiful materials that we just happened to not rocket launch up, and all of our stuff that was in our chest. Yeesh. Okay, I was making some like crushers and stuff. I do have this. Oh, that's a little. It's not what I expected. I don't want to say it's too disappointing, but like I was gung ho to be like I'm an astronaut bouncing around and dropping the things, and it seems like there's another few steps in the process. So what do we have up there right now? Is there an easy way to check? Solar, this. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what we actually want to send up there. Let's go ahead, send some belts from here. So what, just 100 belts is gonna be a whole rocket ship worth? Rocket capacity 100. This fits in my pockets, guys. Like, I could fit like 10,000 of these. Okay, that's not the right math, but like, it's kind of insane. I guess it's just a game balancing thing. They don't want you to send too much at once too easily. So here we are. Okay, we'll send some Space Foundation. Since we ejected ours, we probably need to send more. Since 35, and then yeah, we'll need like inserters. I guess there's no reason not to send the bulk inserters since they take up the same amount of space on the ship. Do want a couple more. Let's do 10. And then I do think I still probably need some belts or something. We'll figure it out piece by piece. For right now, this is what we will launch, and we have another rocket to go right after that. So that'll be up there, and we'll see it soon. And then we'll see how we actually get to use that stuff. In the meantime, I did have a game plan of showing you guys something new, so I guess while we're waiting for these rockets to fill up continuously, we can check that out. But yeah, let's do one more rocket of space platform 30, and then maybe a little bit more solar. Don't think we need rocket fuel up there right now. I have no idea. Let's see what we can do, and then we'll finish that one up. I think it has to be full before it actually launches, so. I keep on thinking I can just zoom out to get to it. Okay, so here we are. The orbiter now has the space platform foundation. Left. No, I did it again. Okay, there's got to be an autosave or something, right? Okay. Shift click is bad. Don't do that. Fool me once. Fool me every time. Is it really autosave right after I did that? This is where I was. Okay. Then what is this? Ugly, ugly, ugly. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm just confused which pods are which, but yeah, we'll drop a couple of solar panels in here for plenty of power. And then it said something about turrets being required too, so why don't we drop a few of those? Because they are too heavy, that's why. Some belts. 2 belts. The value. Okay, we'll take some solar panels out, add a few more belts, and call it something. We'll see how it all works together. Deliver the cargo. Main thing is these space platforms. We gotta catch up on that. Fun times, fun times. Well, these guys are not making anything. I'll go ahead and just grab those out because we do need them for various things, but... Alright, the Majesty is wearing off a little bit. We definitely have to get down to business and stop making these little mishaps or we'll be here forever, but yeah, we're sending stuff to the rockets. I guess we'll drop in this stuff and at least 30, and then we'll go back to outer space, check out how this all works together, and not shift click. Okay, because shift click is how you ghost stuff, which is normally how you build remotely, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Left click, right click, does not work. I just like this. It says built remotely. Yeah, I guess that works. A little unintuitive if that's... Oh, I like the animation though. If they just gave me one more paragraph of explanation, I would feel better, but regardless, it is pretty cool. And we're done. And that's all the Space Foundation you get. Okay, we need a ton of this stuff. Yeah, let's just launch it up. Full rocket. Thank you. More Space Foundation. Shouldn't be surprised. It's just like landfill. Just need more. Alrighty. Okay, as soon as the animation finishes, I think it can launch. In the meantime, as I was saying, I did want to try something, which I guess doesn't help that much more if I'm not going to be off planet for a bit, but yeah, I'm trying some circuit stuff. What I did end up looking up was I wanted to try to get a setup where I would have an alarm if my power was low on another planet, and that way I could get ahead of it if I'm in 2 or 3 different places at once and having trouble keeping track of it all. So what I'm going to be doing, I've got this set up right here. We can, connect a piece here. Really what we can do instead of doing that is just put one guy here, one accumulator right here. Actually, I'll reverse that because why not? So what I want this guy to do is give me information. So we're going to be setting up a circuit network involving these decider combinators that I definitely went and grabbed. From that box right there. Alrighty. A little late night, guys, but we're finding some new things out. We're getting into some exciting new opportunities, possibilities, but some minor snags in the road as well. Makes it that much more interesting. At least we can push the button on the rocket while we're waiting. Bam. I thought I filled it. Maybe that was already filled and it auto-launched, which would be great. In which case, auto-launch again, sir. We need as much as we can get. Now, I'll grab these things. Go. Oh, there it is. So if I put this into a box, does it autofill the inventory or does it need something specific to do that? I don't know. There it is. Okay, it is actually filling the inventory up. That's cool. How are we doing up in the orbiter? At least we can bounce between these really easily. Good. And there's our little drop pod. Okay. Okay. I see. Again, I can't pull from that inventory like a chest or something. A little awkward, but it's okay. And we'll need to kind of start moving this direction. We can Glad I know the menus pretty well. Relatively speaking. Let's try this right here, right next to it. I'm just gonna get them in, but there's no electric network right now, right? So I need to then go here and substation. I'm curious how many other people just got completely caught off guard by what we're doing here, because it definitely is different than what I expected. And it's not a bad thing, because like there is a lot of potential with it, but I just had something else in my head when I thought we're building a space platform and going to space. So we'll check it out. We have plenty of, actually a decent amount of this stuff now, thanks to the auto deployment of our cargo. Apparently they don't like that. What's it say? Tile placement prevented on space platform. Platforms cannot have holes in them, cannot form donuts. All good. Just a temporary build limitation. Alrighty. And then we can put the asteroid collectors down, which is a space item right here. I've got a few of those. I guess we need to insert her out of them. And that's all we have. All right, so we can now do space science. It requires ice, iron plates, and carbon. And what we can get out of it, we don't know. Asteroid chunk fill. When the set, the asteroid collector only captures these chunks. Oh, that's kind of cute, because then you can do... You can know which one you're getting and have separate lines for each one, instead of having like filter. Because I was thinking like I could filter it with the splitters, but yeah, I guess you've kind of already decided for yourself what you're getting, haven't you? Okay, 2 of these guys. Can I just get rid of this? Like, yep. Okay, cool. And you are a metallic. So we got metal, the carbon, and then the ice one. Cool. And then we'll have like some inserters to pull that out. I guess I don't really care for it to be like that, right? Because we could... It's more like this. And then... So the crushers had a recipe for each one. Is that right? So is it like this? And then you say, okay, you're carbon. You're metal. And then I need another crusher up there. Man, okay. Gonna take some time. We'll get it. This guy's already loaded up with the next one, most likely, but... Okay, we actually are doing okay on space cart on that side, so we don't need to just keep spamming that. You have another crusher. I guess another asteroid won't help us that much right now. Maybe it will. If other needs come up. I did send some assembling machines. I think I need more belts more than anything. That'll help. And then, yeah, the splitter or 2 might be useful. Don't think undergrounds, but you never know. All right, let's just go with this for right now. And, you know, we have 2 rockets loaded up. We can keep sending stuff as much as we want. Argo Bay. So that would increase the inventory size of like this main thing here. Okay, because it's actually getting the stuff that I pick up as well. So laser turret can shoot, in theory, can shoot extras. Let's see, this is 3, so 1, 2, 3, like here. Interesting. And now, yeah, the crusher gets built immediately. And that one can be the ice one, like we were talking about. So what does this make? It makes ice, and it makes another chunk. What? Crushing. Okay, 5x ice and a 20% chance to still be in a chunk. Okay. So what we can do is just have a setup here. Okay, we definitely need more platform. what we can do is have a setup where it goes out and in. Okay, these are bulk inserters, so it's like here. Oh, no, no, no. Careful. Well, that's just into the void forever. Man, this is... I feel like this is like a... I don't know, you know, those... You play like Super Mario Maker, there's those trick levels that are just there to trip you up. I feel like a lot of little mechanics here are there so that people can mess them up the first time around, but it's all good. So yeah, I was thinking I could just set this up as a whitelist for the carbon chunks. Whitelist, space, carbon chunks. And you do the same thing here and here, but you tilt them down and you give them the other ones. Middle is metallic and the last one was ice oxide. So now when they drop their chunks, you can just pick them back up and put them back in. It's like, oh, okay, we didn't feed you the right thing the right time, so we'll do that instead. We'll need more inserters, but we got our materials. We have carbon, we have iron ore and ice, and we need space science, ice, iron plate. So we actually have to send a smelter as well, and then we get into assembly. Interesting. Yeah, no, that's kind of weird. Can't I do like mouse wheel? Yeah. Not exactly how I expected it. I think I've said that plenty of times already, but it's cool. It's definitely different. Different vibes. So I was saying I need a smelter. Might need more power as well. At least a little bit. I didn't really check the lines. But I don't think I need to send accumulators, which is kind of cool. A couple smelters. How am I doing on... I almost kind of wish you could see the inventory from here, but... belts, we have lots of belts. Only one substation. And then, yeah, we could do a whole bunch more. So if we had space, we could spread it out and do twice as much asteroid collection. I guess I'll just send what asteroid collectors I have right now on hand, which is none. Lovely. And these guys are working full time right now. Okay. So yeah, substation. This is definitely hard to wrap your head around in a few ways, but I think it'll get easier just with some practice. Productivity module kind of makes sense. Can we send those up? Of course, those take up 1 million pieces too. 8. Let's see. We'll have assembly 3 there eventually, but right now it's assembly 2. So I think it's 3 per furnace, and then so it's going to be 6 plus 6, 12. Only 12. Just to try to be efficient about it, and of course we messed that up. There we go. And the rest should be able to just be space platform. Alrighty. Send it up. Let's see what happens next. So whenever it gets here, we'll see it fill in. And then, yeah, I was making a couple of asteroid. Well, I thought that was an explosion, actually, locally. Technically it is, but I thought it was, like, my stuff getting exploded on, which would be sad. So, yeah, if I do 6 asteroid collectors, maybe it can be more efficient, because the timing for this is 2 seconds to crush a rock, and it seems like it's taking a lot longer to get a rock. I'm not even sure, though, that more asteroid collectors would really... I guess there's like stuff over here. It's the range. Okay. So only get stuff in this range that matches its profile. So we really do want to try to expand over here a bit and then have like a filtered setup for the rocks. Okay, so more space platforms is what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing. Send it up. Weird you can't be there in person, but I also am glad that I'm not trapped there in a little like a vacuum chamber, unable to do anything. That's like a nightmare. Just like being stuck in a little chamber here and being like, well, this is the airlock, and I really didn't make this a very hospitable environment, so this is where I live now. And then you just like end up suffocating like in a day or two. That's the worst. Don't do that. Let's go ahead and talk about circuits after we go back to the orbiter and continue to build. Oh my gosh, I need more space platforms. Okay, I need to just route it where space platforms are automatically going into that. But then there's sometimes I don't want it to send those. We'll get there soon. At the end of the day, we're still going to be waiting on low density structures to really build up. And if those kind of cool a little bit, we'll be fine.